guys, I'm Bella with ARC El Paso, and I'm here with Michael Davis. He's the chairman of the board of the East Side Coalition Foundation, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Juneteenth celebration that's going to be going on this Saturday over at Zion Church, correct?
Mount Zion Baptist Church.
Mount Zion Baptist Church. So what can we expect from this event coming up?
The East Side Central Coalition, in partnership with the Paso Museum of History, the Paso Community Foundation, and the Paso Historical Commission, is sponsoring a release of the Black Historical Tour Guide. It's the first Black Historical Tour Guide for the city of El Paso. It took 2 years to develop the script and now the final product. A lot of long hours, a lot of long work with a diverse community of individuals from different organizations that came together to produce this particular document. This document documents all those different contributions that many of the people that are part of the history of El Paso executed or made.
So let me know how many of these sites people can still go and visit, these historical sites in this tour guide.
This historical tour guide that you have in your hand has a minimum of 38 different tour guide sites, Black historical sites. That tour takes you around, all the way through around Paciano, over into Taze, which was the first integrated projects in El Paso. My family lived there after they moved out of Second Ward. There are other different sites, hotels, museums, not museums, but actually movie theaters that Black El Pasoans wanted to go to. And some of those facilities are represented in the Green Book.
Oh, wow.
And we highlight that in this tour guide.
Okay.
So when you look at the instructions and you read through it, you'll see in places where the Green Book sites were.
Okay, and is Noble Records a part of this?
And absolutely, Noble Records is one of the historical sites that are mentioned in the historical guide. Now, the reason why we did that is when people, if we wanted to sell an album, these are old vintage albums, we wanted to make sure people knew that it worked. Noble's Records, actually, the first location for Noble Records was on Alameda Street, right around the corner. And as young kids, when we would come home from school, or as you're going down the street on Friday, Saturday nights, or whatever may be the case, Mr. Nobles will always have his record store open, the speakers were blowing, and he had the saxophone, and he would be playing, and he would welcome kids coming through, and I was like one of them. That's where I learned to play the violin. But included in this portion of that is Club Society, because Club Society had a role in the Chitlin circuit. So artists like Chuck Berry, Ike and Tina Turner came through, James Brown. We had places like Joe Tex, Sam and Dave. Those are some of the artists, John Ace, that would come through here during that period of time and play at the Club Society. Good example of that, my aunt was a manager at Club Society. Here's a picture of her, my aunt, and my mother side by side at the Club Society.
Oh my God. So how do you pick what businesses that you immortalize in this museum here?
Well, what I tried to do was pick, my reference point was similar to what I have studied and looked at under the Harlem Renaissance.
Okay.
So I wanted to look at music, I wanted to look at art, education, churches, all of those that had a significant contribution to the growth of El Paso, especially the Black El Pasoans.
All right, guys, so coming up after the break, we're going to talk about what they're doing today at the McCall Center to celebrate Juneteenth. ARC El Paso is going to be right back after this break. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about Juneteenth here at the Black Businesses Living History Museum, and we're going to learn a little bit more about how you all are celebrating today. What is this event happening at the McCall Center?
At 8 o'clock today, we're celebrating the celebration of Black Americans after Emancipation Proclamation in 1865. 2 years later, in the state of Texas, blacks were finally told that they were free. So we get to celebrate that as now a federal holiday. Here we have a map of El Paso's Black Wall Street. It's sit around two particular streets, Piedras and Alameda. But also adjoining streets such as Eucalyptus and Bassett Street, Madera and Manzana, which is now known as Gateway West and Gateway East. Between the period of 1940 and 1970, there was over 60 black businesses in this particular area. El Paso had its own Black Wall Street, just like Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you have businesses like pharmacies, dental offices, lawyer offices. We had restaurants, hotels, barbershops, beauty shops, funeral homes, etc. in this particular area. So these are what you see denoted in red, highlights the many black businesses and institutions that were along that corridor. What happened to that, though, was the introduction of Interstate 10 in 1950, mid-50s, where they took the property and homes and areas and businesses in that particular area, moved people out due to eminent domain, and that broke up the entire community. Many of those people moved to Hacienda Heights. And so black businesses began to close up as a result of that. And many families moved.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the importance of making sure that people know that these black businesses existed.
Well, I always have a famous saying, not a famous saying, but a saying that, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? And where you've been, you're standing on the shoulders of many of those who too had the belief in themselves and their ability to contribute and give back to their community. Those are professionals as well. So if you don't know where you've been, how will you know where you're going? And I think it's important that we be able to show people that this is where the history of Black El Paso was, but now how do we go forward? And that kind of centered around the theme that we had with the exhibit at the El Paso Museum of History, Still We Rise. Still meaning past, we rise meaning we rise towards the future.
Absolutely. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the El Paso Black History Tour Guide and its release, you can scan this QR code coming up right here on your screen right now. ARC El Paso is going to be right back.